Wanted to take just a minute to spend some time talking about what I think is probably the most overlooked series of knives in the Great Eastern Cutlery lineup, and that's their series of fixed blade knives. Great Eastern started out with their number 10, which was very similar in appearance to the number 50 and number 60 that you're seeing right here. They were very utilitarian, nothing fancy about them, very plain guard, almost a square cut to the handle. Patterned after early knives that came out in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They were built as a tool. From there, they've also expanded into a series based on their folding knives. The first three knives in the lineup are their number 73 pattern. We have the 731, 732, and 733. The difference in them being the profile of the blade. We have a bird and trout blade, a canoe pattern blade, and finally a saber grind blade. They're very compact. You're getting down in that 7 1/4 inch range. And this was the folder that this knife was patterned after, the model 73. And as you'll see, the only real difference is in the length of the knife blade, a little bit difference in the profile on this particular blade also. From the 73 series, it was only natural to take the number 23, and being a little bit larger knife, and here again, the number 23 pattern, the only difference being just a little bit larger blade than the fixed blade. The number 73 is, as I say, a great knife for around camp, great knife for possibly cleaning fish, doing some light whittling. The number 23 being the better choice if you're possibly deer hunting, going to be using it for a little bit heavier usage, such as maybe cutting limbs or twigs for kindling, so on and so forth. But this entire series of knives, as I say, hasn't gotten a lot of attention, which is unfortunate, because I've been using a number 73 this past summer and absolutely love it. And one of the things that I really like is Dave over at Knife Leather Traditions brought out a very functional, compact sheath, and it works great for slipping in a pack or slipping in your pocket, as this particular one is more like a slip without a belt loop on it. By the time this knife is in there, you're down right around 8 inches, just under 8 inches overall length. As you can see, compared to the original sheath from Great Eastern, much trimmer, slimmer, not nearly as bulky. And as I say, if you're putting it in a pack, it does take up an awful lot less room than the original sheath does on it. One of the confusing aspects that Great Eastern did with this series is we've always come to recognize the acorn shield as being the Great Eastern trademarked series. The Great Eastern trademark series have always had stainless steel blades until we came to the fixed blade hunters. What they did and why they did it, I'm not sure, but on the number 50 and number 60, they held true and they kept stainless steel blades with the acorn shield and the Great Eastern trademark. When they went to the 23s and 73s, they kept the acorn shield, the Great Eastern trademark. However, they put 1095 steel in the blades, which is just fine. I prefer the 1095. But the way to tell if you've got a high carbon or a stainless blade is always check on the tang. Titusville Ironworks is going to denote that that's a high carbon blade. Cyclops Steelworks is going to be indicative of a 440C blade. And this is going to hold true on all of the Great Eastern knives. Cyclops Steelworks will be stainless. Titusville Ironworks will be high carbon. But back to the knives themselves, I really believe that this is probably going to be one of the better collectibles down the road because it has been so ignored in the past. And the great thing is, even if you're not looking at a collectible, it's a fantastic knife to actually take out in the field and use.